Let's now look at a few LaTeX basics. So first of all, LaTeX is pronounced LaTeX, like I'm pronouncing it. It's not the way it's spelled with the X. It almost looks like latex, but it's not. It's LaTeX. LaTeX is used to create professional looking documents, and it's based on the what you see is what you mean idea, which means that you just focus on the contents and the computer does the formatting for you. One important reason that LaTeX is used instead of Microsoft Word, for example, is that it separates the content of the document from the style. And this makes it easy to change the appearance by modifying LaTeX code. So let's now look at what LaTeX has inserted here, or what Overleaf has inserted here when we selected the blank document. So we briefly looked at this when I was just showing you how to make your folders over here on the left-hand side. But now I want to go a little bit more into detail into what we're seeing here on the screen. So if we look at the top here, document class, article. So document class, so what this does is it indicates the type of document that you're going to be creating. So we're going to be creating an article type. So I'm just going to leave that default for now. And you notice with LaTeX, whenever you're doing code, there are always these slashes. So you have to make it in this direction. So this is the backslash. So whenever we are writing code in LaTeX, we're always going to put this slash first. And we'll get to more about that in a minute. So let's just go back to look at document class here, article. The other documents you can create are things like a CV or a resume or a book or an ebook, but we're going to stick with the article for now. And then if you drop down here for a second, you see begin document and end document right here. So begin and end. This is where you're going to put the body of your article. So all the text and the images and things like that. And everything before begin document, so all this stuff up here, and we're probably going to add some more, is the preamble for your document, for your article. The preamble defines the type of document, like what we just indicated. It may also indicate the language, insert various packages, which give you more formatting flexibility by including other parameters that you can use. And we're going to add some more, so we'll get to this in a minute. So if we go back up here to the document class, article, I want to add a couple things here because the font is defaulted at 10 point, but let's make it 12. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So you can just follow along with me. So this is a learn by doing course. So everything I'm doing, I'm going to be doing in real time, slowly, and you'll be able to do it at the same time. You can also pause the video if you need to and go back and see what I did. So what we're going to do is we're going to add, before this curly bracket here, we're going to add a square bracket. So when you add a square bracket, you're adding some more information, additional parameters that can be passed to the command. So we're going to just add 12 point and then a comma. So that's going to be the font size. And whenever you add anything in the square brackets, they have to be separated with commas. And then we're going to indicate the size of the paper. I think for this, we're going to do it in letter size paper, but there's also legal, A4 size paper, so you can specify that here. So we're just going to write letter paper. And then you always have to end the square bracket. There. Okay, and now I'm just going to go over and recompile that. So as I said earlier, you can hit this green button here, or just go over here and use your keyboard and hit Control S to save, and that will compile it as well. Okay, and you can see right there what happened. The size of the font changed immediately. So now we're at a larger size font. So the next thing I want to just look at is this line here, use package. This was defaulted and this was just inserted along with the blank document. So what this means is this is the encoding for the document. The UTF-8 stands for Unicode Transformation Format, and it uses 8-bit blocks to represent a character. And this is what Overleaf uses. And you can use it to represent any Unicode character, such as letters, numbers, symbols, Greek letters, letters with accents, and so on. So now let's just look at this part here, the title, author, date. And we kind of touched on this briefly in another video, but I just want to go over it a little bit more. So the title is what we're going to call the article. So we're just going to use the name of the article, which we have here. The author, you can put your name and date. It was defaulted as November 2019. You could also put \today, and that would just indicate today's date. So anytime you compiled it, it would give you the current date. So after we've done that, that doesn't necessarily create the title, for example, here. You have to then insert a command called make title inside the begin and end document, so inside the body of the article, and this will actually create the title. So that's what does it. And then you can start creating your sections. Now, it defaulted to a section called Introduction. And what we're going to do, though, just so I can show you how to organize a document in a way that it's easier to find things. Now, the example document we're using is not very long, so technically we could just use this one file and put everything in here. But I'm going to show you how to separate it out. So all the sections like introduction and the different parts of the sun and things will be in its own file inside these folders that we created here. And that's why I did that, so that then you just need to go to the folder and you can see the files there. And inside this main.tech file, we're going to then call all those files. So you'll have it nicely organized. So we'll get to that in a little bit more detail in the next few videos. We're also going to add another package here for the language that your document will be typeset in. So I'm going to use English because that's my first language, but you can input any language that you choose. So the package we're going to use is called, I'll just start typing it here. I'm just going to hit enter. Give me some space, and then so it's going to be use package and then Babel right here. So you can just select it. And then what you can do in square brackets before the curly brackets is you can specify your language. There. So now I've just specified that I want everything to be in English.